This video is to help you if you're doing your practical lesson next Friday week. And it's a short explainer about confirmation questions and how they relate to your learning objectives. So when you're getting your lesson next Wednesday morning, whatever the topic is going to be, whatever the subject is going to be, you want to find out what's the most important thing you need to teach somebody in relation to that lesson. So for example, let's just say your lesson is driving forward through a chicane, negotiating a chicane. You need to figure out what the lesson objectives are going to be for that. You may have done it many times, you may have trained people many times, but to get the structure correct for your RTITB test, you have to cover it in a certain way, in a logical sequence. So you'll introduce it, and when you do introduce it, you'll tell the trainee why it's important for them that they have to be able to negotiate the forklift in a restricted area, just like a chicane. Chicane is a right-hand turn and a left-hand turn in relatively tight area. So you have to introduce it, and the introduction is the motivation for the trainee. So when you introduce the lesson, you say, this is going to be an important lesson for you because, and you'll explain it. And the way to explain it is to create a story. It's a role play exercise. And if it's a role play exercise, it's a scenario that you can use your creativity, your imagination. So this is an important lesson for you, Frank, because you're going to be working in a certain part of the warehouse where there are these like corridors where you're going to be going left and right, and you have very little space beyond the truck. And if you're not able to do this lesson correctly, you're going to have collision and you're going to damage the truck, or you're going to damage the walls. Or if you can't do this lesson correctly, worse again, if somebody is in the wrong place at the wrong time, you're not going to be able to avoid them, because this lesson will require you to do this job safely. So negotiate chicane safely. Now you can add on to that story. You can talk about you're only temporary in the job, and if you're good at this, you'll get a permanent contract. So that's just your introduction. So get into the lesson objectives. Lesson objectives start with, at the end of this lesson, you're going to be able to, the trainee is going to be able to, what are they going to be able to do? You're going to be able to demonstrate to me that you can safely and correctly negotiate a counterbalance forklift through a restricted area, turning left or right. You're going to be able to tell me what the critical points of observation are. You're going to be able to explain what reference points mean in relation to negotiating a truck through a chicane. And you're going to be able to tell me why your critical points of observation are critical when you're doing that exercise. So they are learning objectives. They'll be written down. You write them down for your lesson, and your job now is to teach the trainee. So at the end of your lesson, they're going to be able to tell me what the critical points of observation are. Tell me why they're critical points of observation. Tell me what are the reference points when you're going through the chicane. You're going to be able to explain to me what the meaning of critical points mean. And you're going to be able to explain to me what reference points are. You're going to be able to demonstrate that you can safely and accurately negotiate a counterbalance forklift through a chicane. So your confirmation questions are related to that. Example, can you point out to me where the critical points of observation are? Okay. Why are they called critical points of observation? Okay. What could happen if we don't check our critical points of observation? What could happen? That's just an example of, that's only one confirmation question that led to a confirmation question that led to another confirmation question. People tell me on this course the confirmation questions are very difficult, and they are. But if you get good lesson objectives, you're going to get good confirmation questions. Now, before tomorrow, I'll probably send you a short structure video, or I'll send you a video where I'm actually doing a lesson, and it's probably 20-minute lesson. It's not the best lesson ever, but you'll see the lesson from start to finish. And like all the videos, if you have any issues opening the video, or if you have any questions about the video, or if you have any feedback, just let me know.